Hi students, welcome to second year commerce class. In our previous class we have completed all the 14 principles of management given by Mr. Henry Fayol, starting from division of labor to esprit de corps. I hope all of you remember that. Division of labor, parity of authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, remuneration to personnel, okay, scalar chain. Like that, I have given you 14 principles till end of esprit de corps. Stability of tenure, okay, initiative, all these were the principles. Even though you write in the disorder, it doesn't matter. But first you by heart all the 14 side headings. That is a very, very important and frequently asked question in the examination for 10 marks. Then after completion of principles, let us go to the last chapter of this second year commerce. 10th chapter is the last chapter. That is functions of management. Okay. The 10th chapter is functions of management. Again, its weightage is 10 plus 2 marks. We get one 10 marks question and one 2 marks question. So 12. So if you are perfect in this lesson, you can score 12 marks. Sometimes it may go up to 14 marks also, weightage. Functions of management. What is management? It is the art of getting the things done through others. Okay. And already we have discussed about significance of management, like it plays a very important role in the success of organization by utilizing the resources to the optimum level and by coordinating the efforts of all employees of your organization. It gives very fruitful results to the organization. So that is the reason I told you that every organization, whether it is small or big, is giving lot of importance to management, and by spending lot of money, they are trying to have a sophisticated management system in their organization. Okay. Now, in this class, we are going to discuss about the functions of management. Means as a manager or as a part of management, what are the activities you are going to perform? What do you mean by functions? The activities which we have to perform in a specified role are called as functions. Functions doesn't mean the celebrations like birthday function, marriage anniversary function, not like that. In our subject text terminology, in the context of commerce or business organization, functions means the activities which a person or a firm has to perform or a authority has to perform at its specified role. Like being a lecturer, I do have to perform some functions. Being a principal, he has to perform some functions. Being a student, you have to perform some functions. That means some activities we have to carry out so that we justify our role. We complete our task at every individual role. At level, we have got something to perform. So being a lecturer, I have to complete the syllabus on time, I have to revise, conduct the examinations, see that my students will perform better in the examination and I get good result. So these are my functions. So similarly, every person at their respective positions have to perform various activities, they are called as functions. Similarly, as part of management, you have to perform certain activities. You have to do something. That is called functions of management. Among the functions of management, the first one is planning. Okay. First function of management is planning. It is very, very important. Planning does not require only to the organization where money is invested, but for every individual, for the success of any individual, any firm, any college, or any organization, planning plays a very, very important role. You might have heard about a saying or a proverb that a best planning is half done your job. A best planning is half done your job. Means if you plan well, your task is almost 50% completed. So that is the importance of planning. Okay, means it lays down the path. Okay, planning lays down the path to reach your destination. Remember this point. You might have visited some places where your destination has got a proper road, you will reach without any trouble. And a place which you have to visit doesn't have proper road, you struggle to reach. Do you agree or not? Suppose you have to go from your residence to your relative's house, or say it may be in a village. And if it has got good roads and you've got the clear map, okay, what are the various modes of transport available, train, bus, okay, autos which are available. So without any difficulty, without wasting much time, you will reach that place. On the other hand, you take another place of your relative which is a very remote area and that village does not have proper road at all and you do not have proper transportation. So, and you have to go. So, definitely you will struggle because the road is not proper. Similarly, if any activity which you have to perform and you decide some goal, if you prepare plans and you have got proper planning technique and skill, planning is not an ordinary job. Planning requires a lot of skill. So if you well plan your activities, you reach the destination, means you will achieve your goals with perfection and with utmost easiness, without struggling. And you are assured of getting good results. Always a best plan will give you good result. So, as part of planning, what we do is we answer certain questions. Generally, before taking up any activity, you will have certain doubts, you will have certain questions that what to do, how to do, why to do, when to do, and by whom it is to be done. There are 5 questions. Generally, whenever something is to be achieved, there are 5 questions which will raise doubts in your mind. That what is to be done, what to do, how to do, why to do, when to do, and by whom it is to be done. Because as part of management, you have to do the things through others. You will not be performing on your own. That's what the definition of management states. So when you have to perform or when you have to achieve something, first of all you should decide the goal, what is to be achieved and how it is to be achieved. Okay, what are the various activities to be performed in order to achieve that goal, what are the resources we have to apply and to whom the task is to be assigned, like that. For example, I am here to teach commerce second year, so I can't start blindly the lesson. Even while coming to the college, I'll fix what can be the today's class. Okay, what are the various examples should be given, so that will be thronging my mind. So I'll be revising, even while driving also or just by thinking also. Even before coming and starting the class, I'll plan what to be taught today. So before that planning, without planning, we can't teach. So every level, right from a housewife to the chief executive officer of a multinational company requires planning. So planning It is deciding in advance what to do and how to do. You write down or have a verbal plan. With respect to planning, again we have got a detailed discussion. Okay, types of plans, importance of planning, limitations of planning, all that we discuss in the next class. So this class is confined only to the basic definitions of functions of management. If you are given the question, define management and explain the various functions of management, you have to write only this. Individually, planning is another lesson, organizing is another lesson. So we require two classes for every topic again. That we discuss, we continue later. Then comes organizing. What do you mean by organizing? Setting the things in order is called as organizing. Many a times I have given examples of organizing. When the right thing is placed, is rightly placed at the right time. Right thing at the right place at the right time is called as organizing, organized manner. If things are not set in a proper order, it becomes very difficult to perform the activity. See, I am here to teach online class and say mobile is not there, board is not there, I am not given books, the mic is not working properly. Can I perform my task? No. It becomes very difficult. So if everything is set, without wasting my time, my class will take place. But after I come into the class, someone has to bring the mobile, someone has to bring the textbook, and then I start thinking what to teach. Even if I am not prepared what to teach, and someone has to bring markers, board is not there, someone has to come and fix it. So, already I told you while discussing about the order during the principles of management, if things are not set in the order, it takes lot of time to arrange and we will be wasting lot of resources. So, we can't afford that in a private organization or any level of organization which will cost your profits. So, what you have to do is set the things. Whenever a person, employee enters into your organization, he should have proper place. All his files must be in order. He should be given with a system, time, everything. He must be well equipped. So, without having proper equipment and proper system of arrangement, it becomes very difficult. Even last year also I have given you various examples that when you have to reach college or school on time, so your things must be in order. You should have your books arranged in your bag properly, your shoe, uniform, everything is set. So many times we see students of nowadays, young generation are very careless. They don't know where their socks are, where their shoe are. They don't know, they don't take out their lunch box from their college bag and they don't give to their parents or maid. So next day morning when they search for their box, it is not cleaned. So they will be searching for the things. So by the time you find the things, the college bus will be coming and giving horn. So that's how we reach college late. Always it is late mark and we'll be giving lot of explanations. Sir, there was traffic jam, this, that. But actual problem is with us, we are not planned, we have not organized. So how you can be organized? Okay, be ready with the dress late night itself, polish your shoe, keep them ready, see that your lunch box is cleaned properly last night only, get ready early, well in advance, 5 minutes be ready, then you can reach the college on time. That we don't do. So because of our laziness or something. Okay, as an individual you can just afford that. But when you go to organization, as we are investing crores of rupees, if the things are not organized, we can't achieve our target. Then comes staffing. Staffing means recruiting the required people. Staffing means recruitment of required people into our organization. Means simply giving jobs to employees. As you know that without employees we cannot work. Particularly if it is a large scale organization or small scale organization, depends upon the size, you require certain number of people. See, for example, in a junior college, the principal alone cannot run a college. No? He requires senior lecturers, junior lecturers, accountants, office staff, IMA. Okay, all these people should be there. Then only they can perform. Without having all these things, only by machinery and furniture, if the principal comes to college and he will sit in chair, will the teaching activity takes place in a college? No, it is not possible. So, we need to recruit the people who are required for the respective positions. We require accountants, we require workers, we require production managers, we require supervisors, we require engineers. So all these people we have to appoint. So it is a process. Again, what is staffing in detail we discuss later. So in simple, staffing is a process of putting people into jobs. So take the people by giving paper advertisement or something else. You take people into your organization, give them salaries, then they will be working. So that is what called staffing. Then comes directing. What is directing? When people come to your organization, you have to explain them what they are supposed to perform. You have to guide them. You have to supervise them. The other day we have discussed unity of direction. That means all the employees of the organization must work towards the goal of the organization. They should know what they have to achieve. What is their destiny? What is their target? They should know. So being the top management and being a skilled personnel, you have to guide your employees. Without giving the direction, the employees cannot perform well. So you should know how to train the employees, how to guide them, how to supervise them. So as part of management, it is your responsibility to guide your employees. Directing means show the direction, show them how to work. If any employee is struggling, help them, teach them how to perform. Okay, then they will give you the best output. So directing means giving guidance, explaining, informing the people how to perform, telling them the importance of performing the task and achieving the goals. And if they are struggling, if they don't know how to perform, you tell them, you teach them, you supervise them, supervise their activities. Because by supervising, what happens? You can rectify their mistakes. If any employee is not properly is struggling or not able to perform well, you can guide them. So that's how direction includes maintaining the activity among the personnel by guiding and educating them. The last one, controlling. What is controlling? It is a very, very important function of management which contributes to the great extent in success of a organization. If you have to achieve the success means you should have great control over your activities. What do you mean by control? Controlling is the process of ensuring that actual activities conform to planned activities. Actual activities conform to planned activities. Means, suppose say there was a plan that today in the class functions of management is to be taught. That should be the class. So when I come to the class, if I don't take functions of management and I take something else, so I am deviating. Okay, I am not following the planning. So when employees do not follow the planning, we don't get the good results. Okay, so it is the responsibility of the management that all the employees of the organization at any level of management, maybe at the low level, middle level or top level, all the employees of the organization must work according to the planned activities and according to the rules and regulations of the organization. If employees do not follow rules and regulations, ultimately we don't get the result. Many times we see, even in teaching also we observe, so and so faculty does not have control over the students. Even in schools you might have seen that. When a teacher goes on teaching but the teacher is unable to control the students. What do you mean by control the students? Means the students are not listening your lecture, or the students are not following the rules, like they should keep quiet, sit in their respective positions without playing mobiles and without writing rubbish on the benches. When they are not concentrating on the lecture, on the class, definitely they can't get the knowledge, they can't perform well in the examination. So the lecturer has to control the students. Similarly, lecturer should be disciplined. Suppose if a lecturer is to teach class and he comes to class, okay, but he starts playing mobile games, students will be doing their activity and the lecturer is doing his activity, will we able to complete the portion on time? Will we be able to get good result? So here what is happening? The lecturer is not following the rules, not following the discipline. That in the classroom he is not supposed to play mobile games. He is not supposed to use mobile phone in the classroom. That is against the rules. But if the lecturer is using that, wasting time means organization will not get good, that college will not get good result. Similarly, the student is supposed to be with books, not with Facebook. Okay. So he or she is in the classroom and not concentrating on the board but opened the Facebook. Rather than opening the textbook and you are opening the Facebook, what is the result you will get? So we need to follow some rules, whether it is college or school or hospital or something else. Clear? So it is the responsibility of the management that all the employees are following the rules and guidelines of the organization and they are doing only the planned activities. If they deviate, if they do something other than the planned activities, then we will not be able to achieve the success. So that is the meaning. It is the process of ensuring that actual activities conform to planned act. Conform is strict to. Okay. So they follow the planned activities. So these are the 5 important functions of management. In future also, if you become a manager, you have to do all these things. So be careful how you induce all these techniques. And even you may be part of this also. All these techniques may be applied on you also, being an employee. So try to understand the basic knowledge of all these things. Try to improve your skills. In the next class, we talk about in depth about planning. Right.